This review has been made possible by Lexus of Naperville. Lexus of Naperville has the Lexus for you, whether it be new or used. Lexus of Naperville is located at 2480 Aurora Avenue in Naperville, Illinois, or you can visit their website at www.lexusofnaperville.com. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2019 Lexus Rx350L. Up front is a 3.5 liter V6 and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you'd like to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive, where I'll be writing a complete article about the RXL, as I will be calling it. And if you'd like to see my videos early, head on over to patreon.com. I'll have a link in the description below. For only $2 a month, you can see all my videos before they are public here on YouTube. But let's get back to that 3.5 liter V6. I almost feel like a broken record at this point because Toyota and Lexus have put this 3.5 liter in everything. I did a Camry that had an optional one, a Tacoma, the IS300, the Sienna. They all have a very similar engine. They're tuned differently for their certain applications, but at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same engines. And that's really, really nice because that means parts will always be available. If something ever breaks on your engine, you know that there will be a part to fix it because so many different vehicles had this engine as an option. All right, 3.5 liter. It pulls a fair amount. It's not going to knock your socks off, but it's a bigger SUV. You do get that passing power. The highway is not going to be an issue at all. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Nothing too crazy here. It shifts when it needs to, and that's all you could really ask for. Now, let's talk about the interior. This is where the RXL is really going to shine because it is a Lexus. It's going to have a more premium interior than most other cars. In front of me, I have 4 actual gauges. On the left is my tachometer, and on the far left is my engine temperature. Then on the right is speedometer and fuel to the far right. In the center, I do get a little screen telling me a bunch of different things about the Lexus. It's a little cluttered, but if you know what you're looking for, you can get any information you'd like right there in the center of the gauges. On the steering wheel, again, a bunch of different options here. We have volume and phone controls on the left and your selector buttons on the right, as well as lane keep assist and your parking sensor button. To the far left over here, we have a couple interesting buttons. The first one is the auto brights. So you can actually turn on or off auto brights. And what that'll do is the car will sense if there's nothing in front of you, if there's no people in front of you or other cars in front of you, it will turn on the brights. Say if you're on a country road or something, it'll turn on the brights for you. You don't have to worry about it. Then next to the auto high beams, you have your tailgate button, power tailgate, really handy feature. And then below that, you have a heated steering wheel, which is really, really nice. Then on the door, you have 3 memory seats. I love when cars have memory seats. Absolutely one of my favorite features. And this actually has 3 programmable seats. So you can have a small ensemble of people with memory seats in your Lexus. That is really, really nice. In the center, you get a giant screen. I love the size of this screen. I think it looks really nice. It looks sleek. It looks good. It's easy to see. I haven't had any glare issues. It's really, really nice. I'm a big fan of the screen and probably one of the best screens in a modern car. Down below that, you get your Lexus analog clock. Super, super nice, classy. More classy than nice. It's definitely nice to have a clock, but it's really classy to see that. It's like your car is wearing a wristwatch. Then you have your controls for the radio, your tune, scroll, as well as your hazard buttons. That's right below the clock. And then down below, your settings for the radio is your climate control settings, which you can set auto, off, fan up and down, anything you want you can set there. Down on the actual center console, you have brake hold, your parking brake, and then heated and cooled seats, which you can not only turn to auto, but you have 3 different levels of heating and cooling for your seats. Then you have your shifter. You're going to find a similar shifter in pretty much all Lexuses and Toyotas. There's nothing new here. Then you have your scroll button for the infotainment. It's like a little joystick. That's how you kind of navigate your infotainment system. I'm not the biggest fan of this little joystick. The IS300 that I drove had the same joystick. I wasn't the biggest fan. It's not super precise. To the RXL's benefit, the joystick is closer to where I naturally rest my hand, which is really nice. So I could just rest my fingers on the joystick, and it's a lot more comfortable to use than it is in the IS300. Then to the right of the armrest, I have a button for Eco, Normal, and Sport mode, as well as traction control. So for Eco mode, if you turn on Eco mode, not only will this manage your throttle inputs, but it'll also run the air conditioning and heating system as economical as it can. So if you guys didn't know, air conditioning runs off a compressor, which runs off the belt, which runs off the crankshaft of the engine. And so when you use air conditioning, you actually pull a little bit of power off of the engine. You use some of the engine's power, which then doesn't go elsewhere. Well, in Eco mode, it's going to adjust that so you still get the best fuel economy you can while still getting air conditioning. If it's a super hot day and it's 110 degrees outside, turn off Eco air conditioning and get that full blast. But for every other day of the year, you don't really need that extreme of climate controls. So you can leave it in Eco and you'll save a little bit at the pump. Then we can turn it to Sport mode. So Sport mode is going to sharpen up the throttle response as well as give you a little bit heavier of steering, which, wow, you could actually feel it. I'm kind of going back and forth here, put it into Sport, and it starts to kind of thicken up. Sport mode in the RXL isn't that crazy of a mode, but if you do like some spirited back canyon driving with a 3-row SUV, I guess throw it into Sport. Seats are very comfortable, like I said, heated, cooled. You might be wondering what the RXL means. So the RX series is Lexus's mid-size SUV series. So there's the Rx350 and the Rx450. Because this is their best-selling series, they've decided to expand upon it, and so they've added the RXL, which what that means is that this is actually 4 inches longer than a regular Rx350, and that adds a 3rd row of seating, which is actually down right now. We will do a backseat review of the 2nd row, and I'll talk about it a little bit more there. All right, so we are in the backseat of the Rx350L, and this is where this is definitely going to be different than a standard Rx350. So obviously I'm sitting in captain's chairs. It's what these chairs are called when they're standalone, but they're not really bucket seats. And they're really comfortable. I think this is really where this is going to excel over the Rx350, is that I actually get my own personal seat. If you're going to carry more than 4 people, it's nice to have your own seat. We don't have to share a bench seat. If there's going to be 5 adults in the car, it's super weird being an adult and still being shoved 3 deep in the back of an SUV. As well as these seats are heated. I have 3 different levels of heating for these rear seats. Headroom is great, lights functional. I have speakers in either door. Really, this is a very nice experience. It's nice to have captain's chairs. It's nice to have my own chair with an armrest. I feel almost like I'm in like a first class seat rather than the back of an SUV. Oh, I have I'm going to adjust the camera. Look at that. That's pretty smart. Do they touch? Nope. Overall, I understand why the RX series is one of the best-selling Lexus series to date. They're comfortable, they're stylish, and they're practical. I drove an IS300 F Sport, and I loved that car. It was quick, it was comfortable, but it was a sedan. And I understand that a lot of people need more room than the sedan offers. And so that is where the RXL really fills that gap. If you don't want a giant SUV, but you do want a 3rd row, that is the market that the RXL is filling. So I pulled up some pricing here. This is from Lexus.com. The front-wheel drive RXL 350 goes for $47,870. That is the base price, compared to $43,670 of the standard RX350 non-L. So that's only 2 rows. For the all-wheel drive RXL is $49,270, while the all-wheel drive non-L is $45,070. So would I spend the extra money on the last row of seating? It's really going to come down to personal preference. If you need a 3rd row, if you would like a 3rd row, but you want something smaller than Lexus's largest SUV, then get the RXL. I've really had a quality time driving it. It's comfortable. It's spacious, it's classy, it has an adequate amount of power, it has good electronics. There's very, very little I can say I don't like about the RX350L. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2019 Lexus Rx350L. I want to give a huge thank you to Lexus of Naperville. They always help me out with these videos. Great customer service. The people at Lexus are very understanding, very good people, and so I cannot give them enough credit and enough praise over there at Lexus, but their information is up on the screen. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.